is a chilling true crime story about how an Alabama preacher tried to kill his wife using snakes. Glenn Summerford was a Pentecostal preacher in a small town known as Scottsboro, Alabama. Glenn lived in a remote home outside of the city center with his wife, Darlene, and their young son, Marty. Glenn led a small, run-down Pentecostal church in the local area. He was well known for his passionate sermons where he focused on his teachings about God and the devil, often speaking in tongues while handling venomous snakes. As reported by his wife, Darlene, Glenn kept these snakes in a shed on their rural property. On October 4th, 1991, a 911 call was placed that sent chills down the operator's spine as ambulances rushed to the family's residence. As paramedics arrived, they found Darlene in extreme agony, suffering from a snake bite on her hand. She was then rushed to the nearest hospital, which unfortunately did not have any of the antivenom that she would need to stop her pain. She was then immediately rushed to Birmingham, 90 miles away, to receive the antivenom and care she would need to survive. In what would appear as a miracle sent by God himself, Darlene survived this attack. Once fully conscious and well rested, Darlene knew exactly what had happened to her and who was to blame for putting her only seconds away from her own demise. Darlene reported that it was her husband Glenn who had purposefully had her attacked by the snake. Darlene claimed that Glenn believed his speaking in tongues and handling venomous snakes was proof of his being possessed by a divine power. After further investigation, it was discovered that Glenn had accused Darlene of cheating on him. As punishment for her alleged adultery, he forced her at gunpoint to stick her hand into the box of snakes. This occurred on the Friday night leading up to the 911 call. The following Saturday, she spent the day running errands. When she arrived home, Glenn denied her medical treatment. He then proceeded to hold her at gunpoint and force her to endure another snakebite on that Saturday evening. It is believed that after watching his mother suffer from not one but two snake bites, Marty, the son of Darlene and Glenn, had placed the 911 call. After a 2.5-day trial, Glenn was found guilty of attempted murder and faced a mandatory 99-year sentence since he already had 2 prior felony convictions on his record. During the 2-day trial, police also interviewed Glenn's first wife, Doris. Doris testified how she had once seen Glenn almost kill a man during a fight over some cash. When asked if she thought that her abusive ex was capable of murdering someone, she first paused and grimly replied, "Possibly." Although including venomous snakes as part of a church sermon may seem bizarre and utterly irrational, this event led anthropologists, filmmakers, and more into unearthing a deep, dark, twisted side of the Appalachian rural culture. If you enjoyed listening to this true crime story, make sure to follow and like this video. If you would like to read more about this event, check out thedailybeast.com article published December 7th, 2020. Here's the story of something a client said to me while I was doing her makeup that I will never forget. A couple of videos ago, somebody commented asking for this story, but honestly, I can't find the comment anymore, so if you guys find it, make sure you tag them below. This story takes place back when I used to work on boudoir shoots. And as I've mentioned before, for most of the women that would come in, this was a completely new experience. Some of which had never even worn makeup before. And it was my job as the makeup artist to make sure that they felt comfortable in what they were wearing and that they looked great on camera. At this particular shoot, I had about 5 or 6 clients coming in that day. The client that I'm focusing on this story came in somewhere in the middle, meaning she wasn't my first client, but she also wasn't my last for the day. When you're working on set of a photo shoot, things can get kind of hectic, especially towards the middle of the shoot, because you're constantly trying to clean your brushes and reset up your station for the next person to come in, which is usually literally 10 minutes after the last one left. When my client came in, I asked her if she had a photo of what kind of makeup she wanted, or if she knew the vibe of the photo shoot she was going to be doing today. I was really just trying to feel her out and make sure that we had a good starting point set. My client was very shy and she pretty much told me that she doesn't wear very much makeup ever and that she just wanted to make sure she felt beautiful. I pulled up some reference photos on Pinterest and asked her to look through a couple. After about 5 minutes of scrolling on Pinterest, my client looked up at me and told me she didn't want anything crazy, nothing too dark, and that actually she really liked the makeup I was wearing if I could just do the same thing I did to myself that morning. I don't remember exactly the look I was wearing that day, but I do remember it was something very simple and something that just made me feel pretty. I was extremely flattered, and so that's the look we did. I made sure to keep her foundation light, give her some nice warm tones in her contour, and really work with the eye shape while giving giving her something natural and beautiful. Other than that, my client didn't really say much. I could tell that she was a very shy, nervous woman. Right before she got up out of my chair to go into the photo shoot, I handed her a mirror. And like I said, she was extremely shy. She didn't really say much. But she did tell me that she loved it, and then she got up to go get dressed for her photo shoot. After that, my next client came in, and then the next, and then the next. And kind of in the back of my mind all day, I just kept wondering if that lady really did like her makeup, because she really didn't say much to me at all. And it would make me feel absolutely terrible if she didn't feel beautiful in those pictures. When I got home after the photo shoot, I unpacked my makeup kit, started washing all of my brushes, and I got a text message on my phone. It was from the client that I had been thinking about literally all day. She said she just really wanted me to know that she really appreciated the makeup I did for her earlier, and that was the most beautiful she had ever felt in her entire life. As a makeup artist, getting that text message was absolutely incredible, and that became one of my favorite parts of doing makeup, is that whenever they get out of my chair and look in the mirror, they feel absolutely beautiful. The look I did in this video is something that makes me feel beautiful, and I would love to see what makes you feel that way. This is the story of the time that makeup I did in 2019 ended up on Vogue Italia's website in 2021. In 2019, I was a senior in high school about to graduate and go to college. At this time, I had been doing makeup for about 2 years. As you can tell, I started doing makeup very, very young. I never went to beauty school, and I learned everything I know at YouTube University. Shout out to Jaclyn Hill's makeup tutorials. Right before my high school graduation, one of my friends that was a model asked me if I could do her makeup for a photo shoot. She told me they were going for a very editorial look and that I could pretty much do whatever I wanted. I settled on doing this graphic orange look, which you'll see me doing in this video. I met my client Paige at her house, did her makeup, and sent her off on her way to her photo shoot. A couple of weeks later, she sent me pictures from the photo shoot, which you will also see at the end of this video. And me, not being a model, thought that's where the story would end. Flash forward to 2021, I'm working at my job and I get a text from Paige. We hadn't talked in a while, but her first text message said something like, "Do you remember when you did my makeup orange for that photo shoot a while back?" I responded saying, of course I remember doing her makeup. It was one of the most fun looks I ever did. And that's when she told me her side of the story. After I had done her makeup that day, she went to the photo shoot and the photographer low-key was kind of creepy. She said she didn't really hear back from him, and it was super difficult to get the photos from him from that day. He would contact her on Instagram asking to do other shoots, and she never really responded to him until he sent her a picture of her face on Vogue Italia's website. He had submitted the photos of that photo shoot in 2019 to Vogue Italia, and one of them was accepted. Paige sent me the photo, and when I opened it, I looked super closely at her face, and that's when I realized it was the makeup that I had done. Seeing a photo of makeup I did on my friend almost 2 years ago end up on Vogue Italia literally felt like I was in a dream. An accomplishment like this is something that I never even thought would be possible. Paige is such an amazing model and she is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm gonna tag her in the comments. And like I said before, pictures of the original makeup, her photo shoot, and the photo on the website is going to be at the end of this video. With all that being said, you probably noticed that my voice just changed in the middle of the video. And that's because I've had this makeup tutorial in my drafts for almost 2 months now. The reason that I've held off on posting this video is because even though I have a picture of it on the website, I haven't been able to find a link and I haven't been able to get into contact with the original photographer to see if he has a link. And it really makes me nervous to post this and not have a source for you guys. But then I thought if anyone was going to be able to find a link to this photo, it would be TikTok. I also just want to take a second to say thank you to each and every one of you who follow me, watch my videos, and support my makeup. Since I started doing makeup on TikTok, I've really been able to get back into my groove and focus on being creative and doing something fun and doing something for myself, and that is all because of you guys. I'm just gonna say it, Paige wore this look better, but oh my god, there's the picture, guys!